Assalamu alaikum students. We are discussing about the prejudice, discrimination and inequality. This is the chapter for the class 6th. We saw that prejudice is the negative feeling developed in a person towards a person or towards a group of people. Discrimination, which is based on the color, creed, gender, religion, etc. And inequality is that where we treat people differently. So today we will discuss about the different constitutional provisions which are for the protection of the people. We left at the points like we have the caste inequality, religion equality, race inequality or gender inequality. Today we will see the constitutional provisions or the government or the country which has given us the constitution. What are those provisions which protect the people from different discriminations? In India, there are provisions in our constitution against discriminations and inequality. India is a country, we have the constitution in it which protects people from the discrimination and inequality. These are categorized under part 3rd, that's fundamental rights, and part 4th, that's fundamental duties. Part 3rd of the Constitution provides us fundamental rights. Fundamental rights are those rights which protect us from discrimination and inequality. These are the rights which are given to the citizens so that they can live a happy life, so that they will not be discriminated on any basis. And part 4th is the fundamental duties. Fundamental is when we are given rights, then only we can perform fundamental duties in return. Like in our homes, if we are given the right to education, our parents put us in a school so that we can learn and read, and in return we have to study. This is our duty. So first of all, we will see what are fundamental rights. To end all the forms of discrimination, our constitution gives us fundamental rights. It contains powerful provisions to fight against discriminations. Our constitution provides us fundamental rights which are in the part 3rd so that we can be protected from any discrimination. So first of all, first right is the right to equality. Right to equality means that we are one, we are not different each other, we are equal, whether male, female, whether black, whether white, whether from one religion, whether from other religion. First of all, right to equality includes article 14 to 19. First of all is the right equality before the law, that whatever laws are made by our government, all are equal. Prohibition of discrimination on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Everyone is equal. We should not discriminate people on the basis of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. These are the provisions of the constitution. Equality of opportunity in matters of the employment, public employment. Whatever government gives policies or plans for the employment, everyone should be given that opportunity. Abolition of untouchability. Like we have discussed about the caste system in Hinduism, there is the concept of untouchability, that the lower castes are not touched by the upper castes. They are not entered in the religious places of the upper castes. They are not entered in the social gatherings or the festivals of the upper caste. So that to protect them, there is the abolition of untouchability. The government or the constitution has provided us this article, that's article 17. Abolition of titles. This is also another provision, that we should not do all these provisions are provided to the citizens so that they can be protected from any other discrimination. So everyone is equal before the law, before the every policy or the laws which are made by the government are equal to all the citizens of the country. No one is superior or no one is inferior before that. Second right is the right to freedom. Protection of certain rights regarding freedom of speech. Protection in respect of conviction for offences, protection of life and personal liberty, protection against arrest and detention in certain cases. These right to freedom includes from Article 19 to 22. These articles give these provisions, or these articles or this right gives us the freedom, whether in expressing our views, whether if someone offenses us or someone blames us, this gives us the respect, protects our respect. This gives us the protection of life and personal liberty, that we should protect our life, we should protect our freedom. Protection against arrest and detention in certain cases. Sometimes some people are arrested without any cause, so this right to freedom protects them from any discrimination. Second thing is the third right against exploitation. These rights include from 23 to 24. So prohibition of traffic in human beings and forced labor. So this right against exploitation protects the human beings. If somewhere we are forced to do the things or to do the labor, to do the different activities which are not good for the human beings, so this right against exploitation protects us. Even if someone exploits some employee in the workplaces, this right protects him or her. Prohibition of employment of children in factories, etc. This also protects us. This also protects the children from the child labor. Below the age of 14 years is not allowed in any workplaces. So the right against exploitation protects them. Right to freedom of religion. Right to freedom of religion. This includes from the Article 25 to 28. Right to freedom of religion means whoever the person is, whatever the religion is, whether Hinduism, Islam, Christianity, Sikhism, Buddhism, everyone is free to choice or practice his or her religion. So it includes freedom of conscience and free profession, practice and propagation of religion. So it includes first provision that everyone is equal, or everyone is free to practice and propagate his or her religion based on his or her choice. Freedom to manage religious affairs. Freedom to payment of taxes for promotion of any particular religion. So whatever the religion a person or a community practices, he or she or the community is free to manage his or her religious practices, their religious practices. They can promote their religion in their own community. They can make the different like in Islam we can make our mosques, we can build them, we can decorate them. It is up to our choices. Freedom to attendance at religious instructions or religious worship in certain education institutions. Sometimes we are given, this provision gives us that we can propagate or we can give our religious worship or religious teachings to our community, like we have the madrasas, different institutions where we can give our religious teachings to the community, to the students, to the people. So right to freedom of religion gives us to practice our choice based religion, to develop the religious places, to give the religious teachings in certain education institutions. Fifth right is the cultural and educational rights. It includes protection of interests of minorities, right of minorities to establish and administer educational institutions. So cultural and educational rights means that it protects the interests of minorities. Like in India, Muslims are in minority because we are in whole India, we are less in number as compared to Hindus. So the Muslims, for it's an example, the Muslims are given to right to establish their educational institutions, even to protect the interests of minorities, those people who are in minority or in less, whether based on religion, whether based on population, whether based on caste, whether based on creed, they are protected by the constitution, by their rights. Sixth is the saving of certain laws. It includes Article 29 to 30. Saving of laws providing for acquisition of states, etc., validation of certain acts and regulations, savings of laws giving certain directive principles. And this article also includes this article that we should protect the laws, we should protect the certain acts, we should protect the laws which give effect to different things. So the last one is the right to constitutional remedies. This means that this cultural and educational rights, it also includes these 29 to 30. The saving of certain laws are included in the cultural and educational rights. Last one is the right to constitutional remedies. It includes the Article 32. Only 6 fundamental rights are there: right to equality, right to freedom, right to against exploitation, right to freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights. The saving of certain laws are included in the 5th. In saving of certain laws means that we have to protect some laws which give, or the acts which give effect to certain directive principles. Like in directive principle, I will give you an example. We were having right to education. It was firstly in the directive principles. Now it is included in the article fundamental rights. That's Article 21A. That's right to education. So last one is the right to constitutional remedies. It includes that remedies for enforcement of rights confirmed by this part, power of parliament to modify the rights confirmed by this part in their application to forces, restriction on rights confirmed by this part while martial law is in force in any area, legislation to give effect to the provisions of this part. Constitutional remedies means that it protects the rights. It is the right where if these rights, that right to equality, freedom, exploitation, if these are not implemented fully, then constitutional remedies gives us the right to go into the court and tell the court that our rights are violated, we are not given proper rights, we are being discriminated. Then comes the action of courts. Then court can lead to action towards a body which violates our laws, or which violates our rights, which violates us, which are in hurdle, or which violates our fundamental rights. So there comes the work of the courts, there comes the work of the judiciary. We can go to the judiciary, we can go to the courts, and then we can fight for these rights. So we saw the different constitutional provisions, like which includes the fundamental rights and fundamental duties. Today we discussed about the fundamental rights, that right to equality, freedom, against exploitation, freedom of religion, cultural and educational rights, constitutional remedies. So these rights protect us from different violations, different discriminations, and these rights became a power to the citizens of people to fight against the discrimination. This was about the fundamental rights. Thank you so much.